I said, I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash your brains in.
There's nothing like the sting of betrayal. Tell me, have you ever experienced personal betrayal of movie-level proportions? Share your stories in the comments below.
Number 10. Billy Lumis. Scream. By its very nature, the Scream franchise is full of betrayals, as the ones behind the masks are typically close to Sidney Prescott. In Scream 4, Jill Roberts betrays accomplice Charlie to complete her framing of Trevor. But the greatest betrayal of them all is Billy's turn against Sidney. The first Scream is quite genius, as it explicitly depicts Billy as the killer. Even horror movie aficionado Randy pegs Billy, so obviously it's a red herring.
I'm telling you, the dad's a red herring. It's Billy.
How do we know you're not the killer?
Huh? Huh? Hi, Billy.
Billy certainly protests his innocence throughout the movie, but then the reveal comes and both Sidney and viewers realise that, yep, Billy was the killer after all.
Just help me. Whoa, come on. Stu's flipped out. He's gone mad.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
No! And despite his goofy exterior, Stu remained his only true confidant and accomplice. Number 9. Miguel Salazar, Day of the Dead. Miguel doesn't appear in much of Day of the Dead, but he is paramount to the plot.
You need a sedative. You're behaving dangerously. I'm just trying to help you, Miguel.
I don't need your help or anyone else's.
Miguel is quickly losing his composure, and his girlfriend Sarah is concerned. He spends much of the movie isolated in his bedroom, brooding on the end of the world. That is until he's bitten by a zombie and totally snaps.
I didn't do it!
His sanity now completely gone, Miguel goes to the surface, uses his own body as zombie bait, and gives them access to the base. What results is perhaps the most horrific and grotesque 10 minutes in zombie movie history, as the zombies literally tear through everyone in the base. Sarah, John, and Bill prove the only survivors. Number 8. Scud, Blade 2. Before he was Daryl on The Walking Dead, Norman Reedus appeared in Blade 2 as the vampire hunter's new pot-smoking technician.
Whistler, nice to meet you, man.
I heard a lot about you. Josh, you can call me Scud, though. Everybody does.
Scud proves an exceptional weaponsmith, even creating a powerful UV bomb with Whistler that has the capacity to wipe out entire Reaper nests. But in the end, Scud is shown to be working as a familiar for vampire overlord Eli Damaskinos.
I'm sorry, man. Big. You're wasting your time, man. Bomb's a dud. It was never supposed to explode. It was just supposed to make you feel in control.
Damaskinos is interested in total vampire supremacy, and rather being pet than cattle, Scud defected to the vampires. Luckily, Blade foresaw this and knew the entire time that Scud was working as a mole, resulting in his rather cheeky death.
2 things. 1, I've been on to you since they turned you. 2, it's not a dud.
Oh, great.
Number 7. Major Henry West, 28 Days Later. Danny Boyle's zombie classic is a haunting examination of the end of the world. Well, at least the end of England. The first 2 acts concern Jim and his group of friends travelling to Manchester, chasing a military broadcast promising safety and protection from the zombies.
Salvation is here. The answer to infection is here. If you fear this, you're not alone.
They are actually successful and are taken to a heavily defended mansion overseen by the military. But this is where the real horror begins.
I moved us from the blockade, I set the radio broadcasting, and I promised them women. Because women mean a future.
After a faux-friendly introduction, Major West reveals that the broadcast is nothing but a law meant to attract females to the base. West and his men wish to repopulate the world, and 28 days later, quickly turns into The Handmaid's Tale. That is, until Jim goes full savage. Number 6. Everyone. The Thing. A brilliant exercise in tension and paranoia, John Carpenter's The Thing is filled with untrustworthy characters who constantly turn on each other.
Okay, Blair. Come on, man. You don't want to hurt anybody.
Blair goes mad upon realizing the true nature of the Thing and sabotages all their equipment and vehicles. Someone destroys the outpost's blood stores after learning of the upcoming blood test. Everyone turns against MacReady after Knowles finds torn clothes in his shack.
You asshole. You'd have done the same thing.
Don't argue with him.
Clark attempts to stop MacReady with a knife, resulting in his death. And those are just a few examples of the numerous betrayals seen throughout the film, which seems to be arguing that unbearable paranoia pushes people to illogical and sometimes violent extremes.
Nobody trusts anybody now. We're all very tired.
Number 5. Thomasin's Family. The Witch. This horror film from Robert Eggers shares many similarities with The Thing, primarily its terrifying story focused on themes of isolation, mistrust, and paranoia. When baby Samuel is taken by the witch, his grieving mother Catherine immediately suspects foul play from Thomasin.
How thou could lose me father's silver wine cup in this hovel, I cannot know.
Heaven to
Peace, child. He's gone. Did a wolf vanish out too?
The young twins then accuse Thomasin of practicing witchcraft, which in turn manipulates her father, William.
Mercy told me herself by the stream, I be the witch of the wood.
Shut up. Right!
Before long, Thomasin's entire family is against her and accusing her of being a witch. Her mother Catherine even attempts to take her life, forcing Thomasin to put her down in self-defense.
You killed my children! You killed that father! You witch! I love you!
And there's no happy ending here. With her entire family now dead, Thomasin signs her soul to the devil and joins a coven of witches. Number 4. Rose Armitage. Get Out. Throughout much of Get Out, Rose remains the voice of reason. She is clearly embarrassed by her family and stands by Chris in the face of their casual racism.
Dad, this is why I don't bring people to the house anymore.
That's okay, we're not judging.
It's a nasty habit, though.
As Chris grows increasingly upset, Rose decides to ditch the family getaway and return home with her boyfriend. But then Chris discovers a trove of photographs depicting Rose with black partners, which directly contradicts her prior claim. And during their tense departure, Rose flips on Chris and reveals her true allegiance.
Where are those keys, Rose?
You know I can't give you the keys, right, babe?
It's her job to befriend black people and take them home to meet the family, who then hijack the victims' physical bodies with their own consciousness. The party was nothing but a showcase to display Chris's body for potential buyers.
Oh,
Not bad. Hey, Nielsen?
Number 3. Carter J. Burke. Aliens. The first Alien film has a great betrayal, as Ash both breaks quarantine procedures and reveals his true allegiance to the company.
What was your special order?
You read it. I thought it was clear.
What was it?
Bring back life form. Priority 1. All other priorities rescinded.
But Ash was always a little odd, so his betrayal wasn't too much of a shock. That isn't the case with Burke, who was often portrayed as a decent man. Yeah, he was clearly a corporate bigwig, but he was nice and caring. He even jokes with Ripley about his corporate distinction, telling her,
I work for the company, but don't let that fool you. I'm really an okay guy.
But he is a company man through and through, and his true motivations are eventually revealed.
He figured that he could get an alien back through quarantine if one of us was impregnated. Whatever you call it.
He just wanted the alien eggs, intending to use them as biological weapons. And once this is made obvious, he attempts to impregnate both Ripley and Newt with facehuggers.
You know, Burke, I don't know which species is worse. You don't see them each other over for a goddamn percentage.
Number 2, Guy Woodhouse, Rosemary's Baby.
Let's have a baby, all right? Let's have 3 babies, one at a time, all right? A baby, you know. Mama, dad, poo, you know.
This horror masterpiece is one of the scariest films ever made. Not because of the famous devil stuff, but because it's a horrifying glimpse into paranoia, growing mistrust, and the feeling that no one is on your side.
We're not taking any chances with the baby's safety. We're gonna sublet and move out.
We are not.
Oh, yes, we
Now,
are.
we'll talk about it later.
While suffering a painful and grossly abnormal pregnancy, Rosemary begins to suspect that her neighbours are Satanists and that her unborn baby is being used in some sort of ritual. People close to her begin dying, and her husband Guy, the only person she has left, is acting suspiciously.
I won't let you do it, Rome. I mean, because it's not fair to Saperstein.
Not fair to... What are you talking about? What about what's fair to me?
It turns out that Guy was working with their Satanist neighbours, that he helped manipulate Rosemary's pregnancy, and that he offered her body as a vessel to deliver the Antichrist.
I mean, supposing you had the baby and you lost it, wouldn't that be the same? We're getting so much in return, Rome.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honourable mentions. Gregory Butler, Happy Death Day to You. Butler turns out to be babyface, and he shoots his wife, Stephanie.
Oh, wait. I almost forgot. I want a divorce.
Malachi Boardman, Children of the Corn. Malachi betrays Isaac and takes over by ordering his sacrifice.
They are tired of your talk, Isaac. I've shown them what I can do. Cut the woman down.
Put Isaac in her place.
Yeah, we will see how the Lord favors you.
No.
Jill Tuck, Saw 6. Jill equips Hoffman in a reverse bear trap, fulfilling Jigsaw's wish.
Game over.
Ruby, The Hills Have Eyes. Ruby betrays her clan and helps Doug. Jack Torrance, The Shining.
Wendy, darling, light of my life. I'm not gonna hurt you. You didn't let me finish my sentence. I said, I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash your brains in.
Like Rosemary's Baby, The Shining deals with themes of family turning on one another. In this case, Jack, the patriarch of the Torrance family, turns against his family and attempts to axe them with, well, an axe.
Here's Johnny!
There's nothing scarier than a patriarchal figure turning against those he has sworn to protect, and there's nothing scarier to a child than having to run from their psychotic father.
You can't get away! I'm right behind you!
Many forces conspire to turn Jack crazy, including his alcoholism, the isolation of the hotel, and the supernatural forces within it. In the end, he freezes to death while pursuing his own son, proving one of the most depressing endings in horror movie history. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from Watch Mojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.